Good morning. Sylvia here, nutrition and fasting coach. I wanted to come on today and tell you guys about my big takeaways that I learned from wearing a continuous glucose monitor for 2 weeks. So I did it as a little experiment and just to learn about my body and see how the different things I ate and different activities, how it would affect my own glucose. And I still have it on my last day today, and so there's three major things that I learned these last 2 weeks. The first thing was how a very, very small amount of refined carbohydrates has a huge impact on your glucose, and it will spike your glucose. Since I'm in the middle of a sugar detox challenge, I haven't had any sugar at all, any added sugar at all. Also, I've stayed away from most refined or processed foods, so I didn't have a lot of refined carbs. So there was one day that I unknowingly had some refined carbohydrates, and since I didn't know, I didn't prepare myself. I didn't do the things that I know that I can do to limit the glucose spikes that could occur. So looking at it afterwards, it was pretty eye-opening to see the spike I got from that very, very small amount. And so that was the biggest eye-opener for me, that how I feel like it would have had a similar effect as just plain sugar, just from refined carbohydrates. The second thing that really stood out for me was how big of an impact it had if I had fiber. If I had lots of fiber in a meal, my spike would be much, much less. And it would be much rounder curve. It wouldn't be like a spike, and I would not dip down low after recovering from the spike. So it would just soften the curve, and I wouldn't go low and get cravings after. So that really helped. Fiber was huge with that. The third thing that I really learned was, since I'm living a fasting lifestyle, sometimes if I'm doing one meal a day, it would be often a larger meal in a shorter time, or I eat a large amount in a short period of time. And just so the amount of food can help make you spike more. And because even protein, your body can convert protein to glucose as well. So I learned that if I, within 30 minutes of that meal, went for a quick walk where I used the glucose right away, when all this glucose is pushed into my bloodstream, if I went ahead and went for a brisk walk, did some stairs, put that glucose to use for energy instead of sitting on the couch, huge difference. I could completely limit the amount of spikes that I would get from a big meal, by just going out, do 10-minute walk, or running up and down some stairs. Big impact. So that's a great tool. You know about it, you can use it. It's the easiest thing to do. If you don't have any places to go, if you're stuck at your desk, do some air squats in place. Just burn that glucose before your body ends up storing it, since you're not using it for energy. So that was a big one. Also, totally lost my train of thought here. Yeah, so what we learned from wearing a glucose monitor, I thought it was very, very informative. I learned a lot about myself, how my body works, and I hope that it becomes more mainstream, that's something that anybody can get a hold of. Anybody can afford it. Everybody has access to it, because you learn so much. You learn how your body how efficient your body is in using and creating energy, and which is the core of your metabolism, how efficient your body is. And that's how efficient we are with creating and using energy. That's the root of a lot of the disease out there. So learning this about your body is very helpful. I hope you guys learned something too. I definitely learned a lot myself, and I can't wait to put it into use on my day-to-day life, just in knowing what order to eat foods, make sure I get my fiber, go for that walk after a meal, especially if I have a larger meal, make sure I get out and move my body, and look out for those refined carbs. They will spike your blood sugar just like sugar would. So until next time, I will see you guys later.